was just thinking about why do people do certain things in zodiac signs because I recently had a deep conversation with somebody about astrology and they was completely against it at first because they had a lot of experience where somebody would ask them their zodiac sign, which they was a Pisces. They are a Pisces. And the person would judge them based off, the answer or whatever like that. So I ain't had no plans of trying to like change his mind or anything like that. But I was thinking from the perspective of like people is talking about collective data. Like let's say they into astrology and they ask everybody they zodiac sign and they notice their experience with that person. And a lot of times people will have like a repeated experience with a certain zodiac sign. And then if they was to get into their astrology and into like their natal chart and everything, it might even point that out and everything. So I was saying this to him and he was really vibing with it and and everything. And because I was thinking about Virgos for me. Like when I meet a Virgo, I usually say to them, I like, bruh, like Virgos are usually karmic to me, but I ain't gonna judge you. I ain't gonna judge you. I'm gonna go ahead and have my own personal experience with you and everything. Psh, I might need to stop doing that shit, man. Like it do be different. Like I haven't had a lot of experience with Virgo males, but they usually end up viewing me in the wrong way at some point. I don't know what it is. Like at some point in my evolution with them, they will have a negative outlook towards me based off of their own little critical thoughts and shit because Virgos are judgmental as fuck. That's what I have noticed about them, and they be wrong. But they seem to not do well with realizing that. Like they will judge you and they will have an ideal of who they think that you are. This is at least my experience with them. And they would do something that make you well that usually make me be like, I ain't fucking with you. Bye. I'm not fucking with you or whatever. With Virgos males, that usually happens, but when they start to realize that they had the wrong perception of me, they kind of just like disappear. But Virgo women, it's like they feel like they have a point to prove. So, it's this Virgo chick that I work with and everything. And I heard something. And it's the really pretty Haitian girl. I talked about her like a few times. And me and her developed a friendship. And that's all it was to me. I thought that she was very pretty, but she like under the age of 25. Um, she have her own situationship, and I just seen her as a sister. Like I was treating her, talking to her like she like a sister to me. But at some point, she started disrespecting me. And I told her I don't like certain things. Like she do certain things. I was like, I don't like it. She said that, other people had complained about that same thing. So that let me know that she's aware of it and she ain't gonna, be like that. But nah, instead she just get worse. And I realized like she have a energy on her, like this vindictiveness. And this shit always fucking happen with Virgos. Because it be a situation when I be like, um, I don't feel like you a good person to me. So I'ma head out. Like I ain't gonna put no energy into this and you go your way and I go my way. They will always act like they don't care. They will always act like they don't care. But then afterwards, all hell break loose. All hell break loose. But it be in subtle things, things that's happening in the background. So I always been a good friend to her. I always motivated her or, I listened to her. I gave her feedback or whatever like that. I always made her glow. I complimented her. Like I made her feel good. But she it's like she can't do the same or she won't. So instead of being like a mature ass person, she started playing like these games. But see, this why I hate about Virgos. This is what I hate about them. Is that it's so subtle and malicious. It's like their goal is to hurt you. They want to wound you. It's like Virgo women, like they have a taste for that. They have a taste for wounding somebody. They want to emotionally cripple you. But see, she ain't never took the chance to really get to know me. I guess that's something that she don't do. So she don't understand all the experiences I went through. And she don't understand how clearly I see it. It's something that I don't even really like to talk about because especially to a person who haven't went through the experience. And then you deal with people who went through the experience but it made them better. They didn't integrate it. You can't talk to them either. So she did something that made me feel like okay, this what it was. Let me just go ahead and tell the story. First, it was the elevator thing. It's this elevator. Now, I've been working at this company longer than she has. And that particular elevator, like it always had iffy energy. It's the one that gets stuck the most. So but it have two mirrors. It has a reflection on the front door and then there's a back door that has a reflection. So when you standing in it, it looked like you looking down a dark hall. So I rode it a few times and the few times that I did, I put a shield of protection on me. But I usually avoid using that elevator and usually that elevator is unavailable. So there was a time though that when you push the elevator door, that was always the first fucking door that opened. And I told her, I like, you shouldn't get on that elevator. I like, she was like, why? I was like, you shouldn't stand between two mirrors. She rolled her eyes, and I was like, all right, go ahead. I'll meet you downstairs. She went into the elevator, met her downstairs, and when she got off of it, it's like you could see this dark cloud. That's what it looked like energetically. At first, I thought it was, I felt like maybe she was going through a lot. She had like a lot on her mind. And when she got on the elevator, it manifested even more. So it made it more visible energetically. That's what I was taking it as. But I didn't take it as nothing personal or anything. So she started talking about, things that she doing and everything like that. And I was just patiently listening to her and everything. And I gave her feedback to let her know I'm listening and I care about what you doing and your dreams, your goals, your aspiration, you know what I meant. Um, because you somebody that I'm choosing to care about. But I'm still getting to know you. I feel like people be thinking like they have me wrapped up. Like it's so deep that I wouldn't let it go. Or I would chase it. Or I would do things to try to make it work. But see, this the way I be thinking. Let me finish the story. Cause I don't even perceive that way because I'm not caught up in my emotions for one. And my emotions don't even be getting involved like that because of the way that I'm perceiving it. But okay, so let me finish it and everything. So after talking to her, whatever, I was like, yeah, I'm working on something too. It was a 15-second video. A 15, it was a 15-second video. Get to like 5, 10 seconds. She picked up, no, I seen her at the corner of my eye. Like I was looking at the video with her and I was like smiling and everything. And she was looking at me. She turned and looked at me. And it's like she didn't like the fact that I was smiling. So around like 5, 10 seconds in the video, she picked up her phone. She either called somebody or she picked up the phone or something like that. And she was like, okay, I'm about to go now. And I was like, you ain't even say anything about my video. And she looked at me and she was like, well, I ain't get it. And I nodded my head because at first I was understanding. I was like, okay, yeah, maybe she didn't get it. So it was something that I had to process. She instantly left, and I was standing there and I was thinking, like, what is this feeling? Because I feel like I'm overly understanding. Like, I'm naturally like that just because I put myself in people's shoes before I come to a conclusion. I put myself in their shoes. But then I was like, nah, if I was in her shoes, I wouldn't have did that. I wouldn't have did that to her. I wouldn't have sat there while she was building something, creating something, and do her like that. Because afterwards, it changed the way that I viewed the video. And I was like, something is like energetically taking over. Cause I viewed the video and I ain't like it anymore because of what she did. So after processing it, I thought about like, so how should I handle this? Cause I have to work with this person. I have to see them on a regular. Like, how should I handle this? At first, I was thinking of not saying anything, but then it would put me in a situation that I had to either like act cold towards her or be fake friendly in her face. So it put me, I was thinking like if I don't say nothing, it would put me in a situation where I had to be fake. So I was like, I have to say something. And I was like, how should I say it? So I was thinking about contacting her. I was thinking about either talking to her the next time I seen her. I'm glad I didn't go that route. I really am. I'm real glad I didn't go that route. Um, so I was like, I'm gonna text her and I'm just gonna tell her like my perspective. But before I text her, I made sure like to go through how I'm feeling. Like make sure I'm not um being judgmental or harsh or anything like that. Making sure that I'm okay with how I'm feeling and being vulnerable was the best way to go because I needed to be honest with what she did hurt me. And that's sometimes something hard for me to do, like to acknowledge that somebody hurt me. And it's like this culture that we live in, like we don't want to let people know that they hurt you. We supposed to act like unbothered. And if you could act the most unbothered, then you the person that win. But how would that make me feel inside though? Cause when I'm alone, I still have to deal with it. When I'm by myself, I still will have to deal with it. So what is more important? The way that motherfuckers is perceiving me or being able to sit with myself in silence? Being able to be okay with who I am when I'm alone. What is more important to me? And having a positive relationship with myself is more important to me than what other people think about me. And motherfuckers make it hard. So I have to remind myself that. Because motherfuckers will do things because they want you to feel away. And that's the route that she went. So when I text her, it was authentic. It was vulnerable. I told her like, we had a conversation before about me listening to her, but as soon as I talk about myself, she zoned the fuck out. Little things that she say, like when she called my mother a crackhead. And at first, I was understanding of it because, she said that English is her second language. So I thought that maybe it was just a abrupt way. But then I went back and thought about that situation. I was like, nah, she was quiet before she said it. It would have been different if she was like in mid conversation and she said that and it was abrupt. But nah, she thought about it before she said it. Mm-mm-mm. And it been things because it's always red flags. It's always red flags. So it's been little things. The way that she talked to me and stuff like that. Like Virgos, sometimes they talk to you brutal and mean. And they be like, that's just the way that they is. That's just how they come off sometimes. Why? I don't like that shit. You ain't finna be verbally abusing me, man. I don't like that. I don't like what you just suddenly saying really harsh critical things to me cuz I don't do that to you and I don't want to. Why would you want to do that to me in the first place? Like, do you really hate me? That's how I be feeling with Virgos. Eventually, the way that they start to treat me, I be like, bro, do you hate me for real? Do you? So I sent her this message. She never replied to it. I instantly started to feel that she felt like that was a flex. And I was like, oh, here we go. And I thought more of her than that. I thought that she was more mature than what she showing me. So the next time I would have had ran into her, she usually park on my side of the building. I say my side because I park in the same space. Like I got in the habit of parking in one space and I will always park in that space. And it's in the smallest parking lot, but it's the most empty. Like people use that parking lot the less. I would use that. Somebody interrupted me. I don't lost my train of thought. But yeah, I was talking about parking in a yeah, so I park in a parking lot that there's a whole lot of empty spaces. Like majority of the time. And okay. Something came up on the screen. So I would park in the same parking space and she would park in the parking space next to me because I would oftentimes walk her to her car and I would talk and update with her and everything like that. And we got in the habit of hugging each other before we left. So this day after I sent her the message and she didn't reply, she started parking on the other side of the building. And then she would leave before I get in. Like that first day that I ran into her after I sent the message, I caught her. I don't know if she know if I seen her or not, but she was walking fast out the building on the other side. I just giggle and shake my head like that's gonna get exhausting. That's what I was thinking about. Like that's gonna get exhausting. So she did that a few times, and then I made a video and I talked a little bit about the situation. And after I made that video, she started parking on the side of the building that I park on now. But she will park a few parking spaces away. So I kept parking in my parking space. Then she started parking next to my parking space. So I started parking around that, putting distance between our cars. The reason is because I felt like she was symbolically trying to communicate versus having a conversation. And there was other things that happened, like before this musical chairs with the fucking parking spaces, where when I came into work that first day after I sent the message and she ran out the building, the person that she worked with, when I was walking in, they was laughing at me. And I asked them like why they laughing. And they just kept laughing. They wouldn't tell me. So that gave me the impression that she was talking about me. I ain't give a fuck, man. I don't give a fuck what that motherfucker think. See, she Haitian and that person is African. And I felt like she felt as if I liked him. Because I had a dream and I told her about that dream. And when I told her about that dream, like a week later, she came to me and told me that that person tried to sleep with her. And my first thought was, dang, they wouldn't even ask you out on a date. That was my first thought. And that's the thing that came out my mouth. I'm like, dang, they don't even ask you out on a date. They just want to hit. I'm like, that's crazy. And she looked it confused. Like she wasn't expecting me to respond like that. Like she thought I was gonna be upset. But she think that's that Virgo shit. They start thinking wrong. They start really misperceiving me, like really critically. And it's like in a dangerous way because they would formulate ideas about me in their head and shit like that, thinking I'm a certain type of way. And then they start to try to treat me like that. Because for some reason, the Virgo start to get in their ego. They think they have you figured out and they start playing games because it's like they want to get you on a leash or something. What the fuck? She real lucky. She real lucky because she don't understand how that really makes me feel. Like it don't make me look up to you. Like you, she started to even look differently than me. Like I don't even look at her and think that she as pretty as I thought that she looked it in the first place. And that's so crazy to me because people ways and their actions, it could really change the way they look to you. So that's crazy to me. So I ain't react. That happened like two times that I came in and the African dude was laughing at me. But then because of certain things that she started to do, I felt like he started to pay attention. And I don't know what she told him, and I ain't never asked. See, don't ask, don't ask, don't do it. Don't try to figure it out. Don't investigate it. Don't even think about it. Try not to think about that shit. If you got you a good friend, go and talk to that good friend about it and then don't say shit to nobody else. don't say not a motherfucking thing. Cause they like what I notice about Virgos, if they start talking about you, it's like they trying to set booby traps. And they be really thinking that people is doing what they doing. Nah, really? Y'all Virgos be really crazy. Y'all be really doing too much. But y'all be thinking that people doing what y'all doing. But I learned from my cousin because I did everything wrong when I was going through the situation with my cousin. I did everything wrong. Like I try to prove that I'm not what she's saying that I am. I try to um mend the broken friendships that she had broken. I try to prove myself to not be what she's saying that I am. So, and people just was turning on me left and right because it's like from their perspective, I look guilty to them, but that ain't never made sense to me because I was like, why do y'all believe this in the first place? And why won't people just have a conversation with me? Why can't somebody just come behind my back and say something and everybody just turn their back on me? Like, I didn't understand that. So, but the truth is that the people that turn on you, they already turned on you in their heart. Like, they was never, like, it was easy for them. They wanted to believe what they was hearing. They wanted a reason not to like you. They just needed a reason. So it's a mistake when you try to mend those relationships. Cause they want to see you from that perspective. So it doesn't matter what you do. And if you sit there and try to prove yourself to them, they feed off of that. You don't understand the high that it gives them. They love seeing you in that position. They love seeing you hurt about what people think about you. They love seeing you being lied on. They they think that you all of that. But now look at you. They love putting you in that position. So don't even give it to them. If a motherfucker turn on you, if a motherfucker is willing to laugh at you in your face because just because of what some bitch said and not even investigate, not investigating, because I wouldn't investigate it either, but I would have been real with the person. People don't even do that shit to me. People don't come to me and be like talking about other people because they know that I'm not into that. People know that's not my nature. So people they don't even do that to me. But be that as it may. Um, she started doing things like one time she left these pills on the counter. And I just didn't believe that nobody seen these pills. And they seemed so strategically placed. She would leave like these pieces of tissue paper because where she was sitting, I sit there after her. She would leave these pieces of like tissue papers and stuff. And she didn't do that before. And I would never like touch these things and everything. Like I would use something else to pick it up, throw it away or whatever. But I'm like, why is she doing this? And then one time she even brung this dude to work. So this is when she started parking back on my side of the building. I really felt like she thought that I wanted her. Cause my first response when I saw her, like, you is so beautiful. It was something like that. And I was genuine. But I felt like she thought that I really wanted her in a certain type of way. But I'm a person like you don't really have to wonder. If I really want you, I'ma tell you. Like I'ma tell you. You do not have to worry about me secretly crushing on you and stuff like that. So yeah. Be that as it may. So she brought this random dude to work. And this is not the type of job that you do this. And for you to even get in the building, like you need a badge. So this is a whole like security breach. Cause she brought the dude in the building, brought him up the stairs. Then she had him holding the elevator door like she told him to hold the door while she go get her stuff. Really unnecessary. Really unnecessary. And the African dude, he like seeing all of this. And his whole demeanor towards me changed. Like I felt like he started to respect me. Cause I wasn't feeding into whatever she was doing. Cause what she was doing, and this is what I don't like about Virgos either. I don't like this about nobody. Why would you want to hurt me or make me feel a type of way? Why would you want to see? That's why I'm saying Virgos, because my cousin did this too. Because I blocked her. I was on my hiatus. I wasn't even on social media and shit like that. I was like in my own bubble. This bitch called me from a different number and started trying to push my buttons. And she did. And I went the fuck off on her. And she was recording me going off on her. A week later, she must have had to chop and screw the tape. She released this tape to the family, but she wouldn't release it to the public. She made people come over her house and listen to it, so they say, or whatever like that. But see, this is some shit that happened with Virgos. Y'all traumatizing to me. Why y'all do that? Why y'all do that? Please. See, I don't know, man. I'm really feeling like I really need to just not be fucking with Virgos like that. That's how I'm feeling. Um, look, when it come to y'all Virgo females, the fact that y'all do this, and I had multiple experience with y'all doing this, um, it just, I mean, I guess there are high vibrational, um, healed Virgos that I must need to meet. So I ain't gonna throw the towel. I ain't gonna do that. But I ain't dealing with no more non spiritual Virgos. And I'm talking about now, I ain't dealing with, because those was other red flags. The fact that she stopped having like spiritual conversations with me, and she in the beginning seemed like she was really into that. And then she just stopped because she said that she ain't into that thing or she ain't into those things or whatever like that. I should have cut her off then. See, if I have a situation with you and I start thinking back and all I get is should have cut you off then, should have cut them off then, should have cut them off then, should have cut them off then, I ain't gonna ever come back because my memory of you is not good. You get what I'm saying? And I know the difference. Like I feel like some people try to project on me like I think negative of people when we fall out and stuff like that. Honestly, think what you want. I don't give a fuck. Think what you want. Okay? I just I fall out with people because they ain't good people. Like if I was fucking with you and I ain't fucking with you no more, it's because of something. It ain't just because, you know, and see like it be I be in situations where people would compartmentalize or they would take fragmented pieces of what I say and create a theory. And I'm just like, if there was a recording of that whole situation, people will understand. You know, I might, you might could make me look bad in fragmented pieces, but you can't with the whole story. Like with the whole story, people gonna really see my heart, and that would be the vulnerable part for these people who do this shit to you. You just got to maintain true to who you are. Because even though she was like trying to trigger me, it wasn't triggering me. Like I was trying not to trigger her ass by laughing, you know? I'm trying not to make her feel any type of way. I don't do shit to her. I don't spy on her. I don't purposely park in a parking space because of her. If she would have stayed parked on the other side, I would have been completely fine with it. And she had left for a time being and then she came back. I was completely fine when she was gone because it's not a good experience when you're around. How I'm supposed to feel. So now that she came back, she started parking in my parking space. And it's like, why? Why? And during this whole time, she never tried just having a conversation with me. I felt like all this shit that she doing is like she trying to bait me into chasing her. But I feel like she knew that wasn't gonna happen. So now she just trying to like make me feel away. Shit that Virgos do. They just can't let you be. Cause I wouldn't have did this to her. I wouldn't have did nothing. I wouldn't have tried to get her attention in any type of way. I wouldn't have changed my routine like she on change hers multiple times. I wouldn't have did that for her or anybody. Like I'm just I feel like I'm just too grown, man. I'm already like a old lady mentality where I just don't give a fuck. But I hate dealing with it. That's the one thing. I be like, damn, bruh. If you didn't fuck with me, I would not fuck with you. That's real. And I'm still trying not to fuck with you, and you still trying to fuck with me. Why? Just let me be, man. Just let me be. So she parking in my parking space, the parking space that she know I like to park in. And but and she started staying until I get there just so she could act like I don't exist. Act like oh no child. And it's just funny because you know at first I was looking at it kind of innocently, like she just young and she feeling things and she don't know how to deal with her emotions and yada yada yada. But nah, you can't make that mistake with Virgos. You can't. You really can't. I did that with my cousin too. Like I try to make excuses. Like somebody must have said something. Da da da. She might be misunderstanding me. Yada yada yada. No, they just want to hurt you. They just want to hurt you. So be that as it may, I'm just like it be funny because like she be parked in my parking space and the whole parking lot is empty. So you could have parked anywhere else. You could have parked anywhere else. And I feel like in her mind, she feel like she doing something with that. And that is the culture fault. That's what it is. It makes toxicity drive, like thrive, is what I meant. But see, I learned that when you have somebody who trying to like tug a war with you, you should just let go of the rope because it ain't worth putting the energy in. Like I ain't worried about a fucking parking space that I don't really own. You know that shit ain't really mine. Like I'm okay with parking somewhere else. Like as long as I'm distance from you, I'm fine with it. Like do what you gotta do and everything. But what be concerning me about Virgos is like they escalate and they really trying to get you to the point where you go off. They want you to get angry. They want you to cuss them out. They want you to lose your cool. They want that. And I be like, bruh, you could have just left me alone. That's what, when I have situation with Virgos, it always like that. Like you could have had just left me alone. You really could have just left me alone. Why? I always end up thinking that when it comes to Virgo women. I don't know, man. I ain't dealing with no low vibrational Virgos. No, absolutely not. Nope, nope, nope. I learned my lesson. I learned my lesson. I ain't gonna even say nothing. I'm just gonna ask them, what's your zodiac sign? They gonna say Virgo. I'm like, all right, cool. It was nice to meet you. I see you around. I see you some other time. That's what it's gonna be. Unless they like on some child, I don't know, man. I wanna say unless they on some spiritual stuff, but sometimes I be thinking like even if you meet a high vibrational person, it doesn't mean that you're gonna get along with them. Maybe I trigger something in Virgos. Maybe we not a good fit to be in a friendship or whatever like that. So yeah, I was talking to that dude about that. Like people just be recognizing patterns. Like somebody could have dated or attract a lot of Capricorns, but they keep having the same experience with them. And after I explained it like that, like he seen my point of view. And then we talk about some other things and he was just like mind blown. Like, dang, you saying some real stuff right now, man. You saying At the end of the conversation, he was all up in astrology. Like he downloaded. I told him to try out the pattern. The pattern, y'all should sponsor me or something because I really promote y'all. Even though I don't really use the app a lot myself anymore. But when I come across people new to astrology, I tell them about the pattern. Cause it give you like something simple. And it really like whatever they be writing, it really pulls you in. Because he did his profile on the pattern and he was reading it and he was like, dang, this is really, he couldn't believe it. He was like, this is really fitting me, man. This is really fitting me. So, but that was like a week or so ago. I wonder if he's still into it. He probably do what I do. Do what I did, which is I was vaguely into astrology, then I fell off, went into something else. I was into numerology for some time. Yeah, I went through multiple phases and then I kept circling back around to astrology. Now, astrology is not something that I could teach. I use astrology as data, like a placeholder for my experience or something like that. Like when I ask somebody what they zodiac sign, it's not to judge them, and I don't think they're gonna be a certain type of way just because I know that it's so many other factors. But I might compare. No, well, if they tell me like they're a Gemini, I would think back to experiences that I had with other Geminis. And even if I had like bad experiences, I would choose to use it to help me to better understand this person. So, yeah. But people don't. I was thinking about what happens. Why do people go down that route of like demonizing me in their head? Like, why they do certain things, they act a certain type of way? Because when you younger, you project yourself onto other people a lot. So there was a lot of times that I trusted people because I wouldn't think that they would do certain things if I didn't do anything to them. And then I started to come across people who they just did things to me even though I didn't do anything to them just because of how they feeling inside. They don't like themselves, so they don't like other people. Oh, go back to the experience with the girl and she brought the dude to work. So now she keep thinking certain things is a flex. I ain't like the way that she was treating this dude. It's like she called him to ask him to just stand outside until I pull up. So I pulled up, then she started walking past my car with this dude. And he just trailing behind her. And she on her phone with somebody else, not even paying attention to him or conversating with him. and he just got his head down scrolling in his phone. You know, that's the thing that people do to keep themselves distracted. And she treating him like a chauffeur. And I'm just like, this ain't cute to me. I was so thankful because you gotta clock in at a certain time. So when she was walking in the building with this dude, I had to walk behind them because I had to go into the building too. And because she was walking so slow, I ended up walking around her. I got to the elevators first. I opened the door and I was so thankful that the mirror elevator door opened because people know I don't ride that elevator. The mirror elevator door opened and I looked back at them and I pointed towards the elevator like y'all could catch that one if y'all want. And they went and got on that elevator and the dude was like waiting for me to get in and then she said that she don't ride his elevator. So they went in the elevator. I got onto my elevator. I was like, the universe be on my side. The universe be on my side, man. That's how I felt. Because if another elevator door opened, we would have all got into the same elevator together. The universe be on my side, man. For real. And it be the little things. It be the little things. Like maybe I want something like a snack or something like that, but I think there's none left. And then I go pick up my bag or something like that, and one falls out. I appreciate little shit like that. I be like, man, the universe just be spoiling me. I be really feeling like that when shit like that happen. I be like, I really just be getting what I want. I really just be taken care of. Like shit just be working out for me, man. I'm really blessed. That's how I be feeling when shit like that happen. Like I'm really blessed.